Clone rights, are they human? Can they vote? Welcome back to School of Soul. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and today we're going into the legal battlefield that no one is ready for, the fight for clone rights. Because if humans can be cloned, the next question is, what rights do they have? Are they full citizens? Are they property? Are they protected by the Constitution, the court, the soul? Or are they something entirely new, a different class of being? This isn't science fiction. It's legal warfare waiting to erupt. Because the moment the first publicly acknowledged human clone steps into the world, every system we rely on, law, religion, politics, ethics, will be forced to redefine what it means to be human. And the answers won't be simple. They'll be brutal. Let's start with the basics. If someone is born in a lab, raised in a pod, and carries the exact DNA of someone who already exists, do they count as a new person? Or a copy? If they weren't conceived through sex, if they weren't carried by a biological mother, if they weren't born through the normal channel of blood and breath and pain, do they still qualify for birth certificates, passports, social security numbers? And if not, what are they? The law has never had to deal with this before. We don't have legal language for it. We have terms for adoption, surrogacy, IVF, and even genetically modified babies. But a full genetic replica, that's something entirely different. It's not a child in the traditional sense. It's not an heir. It's not even a sibling. It's a mirror. And the legal system doesn't know what to do with mirrors. There are a few scenarios being quietly debated in academic circles right now. 1. Clones are considered full citizens with all legal rights from birth. That means they can vote, own property, marry, sue, work, and make autonomous decisions. 2. Clones are assigned a different legal status, similar to how corporations are treated, as entities, not persons. They'd be granted limited rights, but also be subject to restrictions: no voting, no office holding, possibly even no reproduction. And 3. The darkest timeline. Clones are considered intellectual property, owned by the lab, the financier, or the individual who authorized their creation. Think that's extreme? Corporations already patent DNA sequences. Pharma companies already own the rights to synthetic biological compounds. If a clone is made in a lab, and its genome was modified or designed using proprietary technology, it could legally be argued that the being is a product, not a person. Imagine being born into the world and learning that your body is trademarked, that your name is registered, that your blood, bones, and even thoughts fall under a corporate NDA. That's where this is going. And it gets worse. Because if a clone is considered less than human, if it lacks legal personhood, it also lacks protection. It can be experimented on, terminated, rented, leased, owned, trained, enslaved. And yes, I'm using that word intentionally, enslaved. We've been here before in history. When a class of people were seen as labor, not life. When their value was measured in productivity, not purpose. When their rights were debated in courtrooms, not recognized in spirit. If you think we're too evolved to repeat that, you're mistaken. The moment cloning becomes public, the question won't be, how are they treated? It'll be, who controls them? And the answer will depend entirely on who gets there first. If the military clones first, clones will be soldiers. If billionaires clone first, clones will be bodyguards, heirs, or laborers. If governments clone, clones become tools of the state. And in none of these scenarios do they begin life as equals. They begin life with a label. And here's where the spiritual fracture cuts deep. Because if a being is denied rights, it begins to believe it has none. If a soul is born into a body that is seen as second class, that soul either retreats or revolts. And either way, the consequences are devastating. A society full of legally voiceless clones is not just unethical, it's unstable. Because you cannot manufacture people and then deny them personhood without consequence. They will break down, or break out. There will be clone uprisings, identity rebellions, underground movements demanding recognition, legal campaigns, protests, martyrs, and the backlash will be brutal. Governments will say clones are dangerous, that they lack empathy, that they weren't raised right, that they're a threat to natural humans. That phrase will become common, natural humans, as if some of us are real and others are not. As if divine origin is a privilege, not a birthright. Now let's talk about reproduction. If a clone wants to have children, will they be allowed to? Or will their lineage be cut off? If their DNA was modified, will it be passed down? Will their children be considered legitimate? Or will the legal system step in and say, no, your bloodline ends here? That's not just control. That's extermination by policy. The slippery slope is obvious. Once you divide humanity into two categories, naturals and clones, you create a caste system. 2 tiers of rights, 2 definitions of value. And it won't be long before the lower tier is exploited, harvested, disposed of. It won't look like slavery. It'll look like contract work. It won't look like genocide. It'll look like medical expiration. And in the midst of this, spiritual leaders will be forced to weigh in. Do clones have souls? Do they count in God's eyes? Can they be saved? Can they sin? Can they forgive? Religious institutions will fracture. Some will bless clones, others will excommunicate them. Some will adopt them, others will say they're abominations. And clones themselves? They'll be forced to find new forms of belief, new systems of meaning. Because the old ones won't recognize them. We are standing at the edge of a legal and spiritual divide deeper than anything in recent history. And the moment that first clone demands rights, the entire illusion of equality will be exposed. Because we were never taught to recognize a being by its presence, only by its origin. And when origin is synthetic, society will hesitate. But here's the truth. Life is life. Whether it enters through pain or programming, whether it's born from love or replication, whether it carries mystery or code, a soul is a soul. And any system that tries to assign worth based on method of arrival is not a system of justice. It is a system of hierarchy, and it will fall. But the question is, how many will suffer before it does? Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing, and no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones, the replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans, the merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.